Okay, so it just continues to be just weird. Like, I don't even know. Yesterday, I even saw somebody else on TikTok, and she had a necklace, and she was showing it, and she said, "I've had this necklace 3 days, and it's rusting." Somebody explained to me what's happening. And so her thing was, again, saying that something is off with time. Time is speeding up. There's something off. And I went on and commented, of course. I was like, I keep saying that too. Something's off. Something's weird. Something's weird. Like, there's something weird. I don't know what it is. And then plus, they control when it's dark and when it's light. This is the fucking Truman Show. Like, and I really think Ed Harris went on vacation, or maybe he's at Gitmo. I'm not sure what's happening, but things are off. Like, they can't keep it straight. Yesterday we had it was crazy because it was supposed to be hot, and then the storm came in all of a sudden, and I had already come in because Stella's having, oh my God, such a hard time. That's why I've been up, so I'm super tired. But she can't sleep, so I'm trying to do this real quick before she gets up because I gave her some more medicine. So she just is more like, she's not just laying there crying, but she still like lifts her head up like, and then just lays it back down like, oh, I'm too tired to mess with this. But anyways, this was a good time because most of the time she's crying at me. And yesterday I got so irritated too because she hasn't walked all day. She's laying here, she's crying, she can't do anything. And then I was shutting the curtains and I saw I had left a plant out. So I went out to get it. So she jumps out. Oh, she's got to go. She suddenly got energy. She's got to run out there. And then perfect timing, somebody's walking by with their dog and she goes tearing off, running down the thing. Then she's like hopping around the house, crying at me. I keep telling her, I have been telling her, man, I don't know, especially to fight a dog instinct. Like, I keep trying to get her, stop running. No run. Man. So anyways, I just want things to change. I'm so sick of this. And my crystals haven't gotten here yet. Like, I know that would be helping. And that woman finally did answer. And she did say, oh, I'm just busy from 6 in the morning till 6 at night. They're just nonstop, and that they're having good results, but she hasn't got to the post office. It's like, come on, dude. What? I was really looking forward to those. Now it's just like, well, I guess when they show up, we'll see what happens. Like, probably have the med beds before that. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, this whole thing is just gets weirder and weirder as the days go on. Back to the thunderstorm, because there's some more stuff I wanted to share. But so this thunderstorm just came out of the blue. So I had come in and I was doing something, and I had both the fans on in the house because it's been so hot. And Stella is, she's a beefy lady, and she was hot. She was just, so she's in pain and she's hot. She's just miserable. So I was like, well, just shoot snot out my nose. I just, oh God. Anyways, so she, so it's like, okay, well, I can take care at least of try to make it cooler. And this artificial world, we go from freezing cold to boiling hot, back and forth. Let's see what we can do. Does this make them sick? I'm sick, motherfuckers. I'm sick, and I'm still not going to the goddamn hospital. I'm still not coming into the gas chambers. I'm still not going into this fucking, into the system. Oh, God. A word I say 1,000 times, and suddenly it's like, what is that word again? Anyways, so I was in here, and it was kind of like this white noise, like I have the fan on right now, and because it's so humid, it's so steamy, and but all of a sudden I heard all of this noise, and I stopped. I was like, weird, must just be a really loud car or someone starting. So I kept doing some more stuff, and then I heard it again, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a thunderstorm is happening. Weird. So 1 second everything is fine, no problem, and then suddenly we're just in a major thunderstorm. So I go and open the door, and yes, just total torrential downpour and this weird thunder. So I get my phone, like, okay, I got to get this because I know this is not natural. And I've got to get how the sound of this. And the thing is that it's kind of irritating because I don't know if it's just my phone. Maybe I've dropped it so many times, or if it's just the way that this system is set up. But the phone won't pick up some of this natural stuff. It will not pick up the right colors or the sounds. It's weird. So in my videos, or the video, you hear a lot of the birds. You can even hear a wackadoo across the street over there, yakety yakking. She's always outside. She's everybody to know what she's got going on. And so, and she's God. Some of these people are such characters. This is a movie. These people are characters, and some of them are just like, just like any movie where there's characters you're just like, ugh. And then there's ones you like, and there's a lot of that. Ugh. So she's, but I mean, no judgment. I mean, I know that she is, she's a soul that's living in suffering and pain, because people don't behave in certain ways when they're healed, when they are feeling good about themselves, when they love themselves. There's a shift in your behavior, in your attitude, and how you treat people and how you act towards people. So anyways, I was trying to get the video with the thunder, but I kept picking up on these noises that were closer apparently, but I could hear it even if the phone couldn't hear it, and it was so freaking fake sounding. It would I swear to God, it gave me the image, those big I've seen them before, like in sound effects or something, and they're like this big silver looking piece of metal, and you shake it and it makes this sound kind of like thunder or something. That's what it seriously sounded like somebody's up on the hill running around shaking that thing. It didn't make any sense, but the way it traveled too, it would travel and it would just suddenly start, and no build up, nothing, and then it would just stop. So it was just, nothing was natural about it, and I don't know. It's weird too. Yesterday, I was laying out again, and now that I've noticed there's no spiders, I keep noticing everywhere, like looking, and I keep finding dead webs, but they're all just like, look really dirty and, all yuck, like they're old. And like under chairs, under all sorts of places. I mean, my house is a haven for spiders. And when I asked the neighbor, and she said, oh no, we've got millions. I'm thinking about spraying. It's like, well, I guess mine all went to your house, because I don't have any. It's weird as shit. I mean, it's weird. You'd think there'd be a couple. The other day, and this is, I think, what really got me noticing it, is because I was laying out, it was a couple days ago, and I was laying out and I was looking up at the trees. Like I said, I keep trying to imprint nature into my soul. And so I was looking up and I saw a web way up, and it was the sun was hitting, and you could see all of the colors. And I just think that looks so cool. If you've ever seen that, when the sun reflects on a spider web, it is so beautiful. And so I was looking at it, and it was a pretty huge spider. It was, I could see it, and it was up in the trees. But there are some spiders that, they're as long as your finger. There's some huge spiders out here, and they'll stop and look at you. Like, they see you. So I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh, weird, there should be so many of those. And so I was looking around at all of the places where I normally would look and be like, oh, there's none there. That's weird. Usually, like, there's over by my greenhouse, there's a couple of trees. It's breaking my heart, because when I'm walking around my yard, I just keep seeing, oh my God, I got to cut this one down. Oh, I got to cut this one down. Oh. And I asked my neighbor yesterday, when I asked about the spiders, I said, what are you guys going to do about all your dead trees? And she said, I know, gosh, I know. We're just going to call somebody out. This is going to be so expensive. I was like, fuck yeah, but she didn't even question it. It was just like, yeah, well, it's like, fuck, I swear to God, it blows my goddamn mind. Blows my motherfucking mind. How people are just so, oh God, it freaks me out. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to say it to be mean or anything. It really freaks me the fuck out. Like, this is weird. Like, these are really weird. And I got up this morning to a couple of really bully messages. I fucking, I did a video back. I mean, this is ridiculous. Adults coming in and bullying other adults. Grow the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Like, if you cannot handle someone else's opinion, and I said to this one guy today, because he's sitting there telling me, like, I'm such an idiot because I believe in conspiracy theorists, and, you know, and he's logical, he's smart, you know, he probably really believes in science, and, you know, climate change, like, god damn. It's like, fuck off, dude. And, but he's coming in and telling me, I said, you know what, I'm really sick of you guys coming in and saying, like, us conspiracy theorists need to prove it. Like, it's time for you guys to start proving us wrong. So fuck off. It's like fucking bullshit, you know? And all they do is run around like, my dick's bigger than yours. Like, that's all it is. It's fucking bravado, you know? It's fucking ignorant. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the bullshit. So, anyways, I just... I mean, seriously, yesterday when I was sitting outside, and I was just watching them cover the sky, looking around at all the places, and, you know, my dead trees, looking around at all the things, like there's no spiders, no spiders, no spiders, no spiders. Looking around under things, no spiders, no spiders. But a huge amount of gnats and flies and these flying bugs dodging your goddamn face, along with the pine needles flying around because they have no place to go because their body is dying. And so I'm sitting out there, you know, it's one plane after another. And another thing is there is right in my line of my trees, there is an exact line now. It is like they are on a conveyor belt, or, you know, like on a ski lift, how it goes like in that line, you know, and they just hook on. I swear to God, it is weird. How are they just going in this perfect line? I'm not even in an airspace place. There should be no freaking traffic up there. But the thing that gets me is the goddamn people around me are oblivious. Like, how do you have military planes? I mean, other weird planes. Like, I swear to God, like a 1940s propeller. I think I'm in some sort of time-space continue or some kind of a portal hole. And I remember when I had said I had done those mushrooms, and way too many. It was like I did a couple sips of a tea, and it was like, whoa, way too much. So like I still can't. Ugh, freaks me out. So but when I was looking out the window, and all of a sudden, everything in this certain path lit up like gold, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a magic path in the forest. I'm right in it. My house is right in this magic path, like a portal. And I've said so many times, like, there's constantly things going through here. And I 100% believe that those things are real, that we have spaces, especially in forest, which I've said before, especially in forest, because there is less of this intrusiveness of these other controllers, you know, the overlords. So in the forest, that's why we see like these beasts, you know, like Bigfoot and, you know, these other interdimensional beings will go through, because that's where portals are. It's the energetic, it's like an energetic place that makes it easier to get through, because, you know, we're surrounded with this vibration holding everything, and it's the higher vibe people who can come pass through, because you can always go lower. Believe me, because I know that's what I did, and I'm down here in hell. Right? Like, I feel like I've been regretting it for, like, why would I come here? Why did I come here for this? Like, and I have to, you know, I mean, they keep saying it's going to get better. It's going to be way better. You're going to see this was all worth it. And it's like, oh my God, it better be, because this sucks. So, anyways, so you know, they can come in easier, but it also takes a lot of their energy to manifest into a physical form, into this place. So anyways, and I've seen other things. Like, I've seen a lot of weird shit in this. So I really do think it was a portal. I really do think that I actually saw the path, because my consciousness was in a different state of mind. It wasn't being restricted and held back by the limitations of this reality, because I was on something that does that naturally. And so anyways, it was super trippy looking, but I just keep seeing confirmation after confirmation. But there's something weird where I'm at, no doubt about it. And for my neighbor to say that she has a million spiders while I have none, I was like, what? This is weird, like super weird. And like, I don't know, maybe my house is just all of a sudden gonna fly up like in the Wizard of Oz, and I'm gonna leave this hellhole. I don't know. But this is a hellhole, because I swear to God, like, they do not question a goddamn thing. Even when your trees are dying, you don't even, well, that's just what happens. You got a tree, they're gonna die. Just because all these trees are dying at once, just because they're all... And the planes and planes and planes. The other day I saw this weird thing, and they all go in this line. One of the days when I first noticed it wasn't the first time I noticed the line. I started noticing the line because it's right directly above me, and I would be getting footage of them doing the chemtrails, and they're going all over the place. They're not just going like this line thing where you can hear them. You can hear them way far back. And I mean, for all I know, I hear them while they're in Canada. It's only like, 20 miles? So, I hear them coming. And I was talking to another girl on TikTok, because I've hooked up with a lot of other Washingtonians that are in my general area. And we talk about what's going on, and we share like the sky and the weather and what's happening with our plants and the days that it rains, the days we're sprayed and stuff. So we're putting all this information together for our own area. And I'm not the only one saying this stuff. Like, this is a lot of people. So the one woman, she was telling me that she has this app that she put on, and it shows who's flying over you. And she told me to put it on, and I can't see good. And so when I was putting it on, it looked like I had to join it and pay. And I have gotten so screwed on those things, especially when they do like, oh, it's a 7-day free trial. And no, that's where I've gotten in beefs with my bank between the two things, because they'll go in and they'll just charge your account and all sorts of stuff. So I generally stay away from that stuff. I think it's a scam. So I didn't do it. But she did it the other day. She sent me footage, and it was a black helicopter going, and it went from Canada. She was watching the thing, and it went from Canada, and it was a LA sheriff helicopter up in Canada, flying all the way across Washington, all the way down through Oregon, back to California. Like, what are you doing? So, but while I've been up there watching and stuff, one of the days I saw this plane. Some of these planes, I'm telling you, they look like they're from the 1940s. I really, like, it's trippy. Like, I really... things are getting so weird to me. Like, for somebody who's awake, paying attention, looking around, suspiciously always watching things, there's a lot of weird shit, man. So this plane that was going, it looked like a 1940s, or I don't even know. They had planes in the 40s, because I met, like, when did they start having those big, giant, like, not ocean liner, but I'm going to talk about water in a second. What are those things called? Those big planes. Like, I remember them being so popular when I was in high school, because that's how I went on my first big trip by myself to London. And I was like 17, and I went on a 747, and I remember it was so big, and it had, like, you walk down, it had a spiral staircase that must have went up to the rich people floor or something, but it was huge, this plane. And so I remember them being popular, and that would have been in the 70s, but I don't know when they started having them. But this plane looked way older than any plane I've ever seen. I've never seen a plane that looked like this, and it was so freaking huge, and it looked like a giant passenger plane. But I swear to God, it was propellers. Like, there was everything on there. Like, when you look at something and everything in you starts telling you, like, oh, this is wrong, this is off, this is wrong, what is that, that's what it was like. And I couldn't get, but I wish I could just, have, see it and, well, I don't want to say that because then they turn me into some sort of AI person, but I wish I could get the footage, clear footage, but my phone too, I don't know. I drop it a lot. And so, anyways, that really caught my eye when I saw that. And then I kept watching, and I think this was even the day before, because I saw these planes. It was super, super loud, and one went. So I was trying to see, and so I was looking up, and then it was just like a couple minutes later, and another one went, and I was watching it, and it went, and it seemed like it went really fast. And you could hear it for a long, long ways. And I kept trying to see, but I couldn't see through the trees for the rest of it, because once it went that way, I couldn't see through the trees going up there. And so but anyways, I was still looking up, and then it was really noisy. But then another one came, and it looked exactly like the other one. The weird thing was about the two that I saw, I didn't see the first one, but the two that I saw, they looked see-through. It was the weirdest looking thing I'd ever seen. I was like, what is that? Like a ghost plane? What the fuck? And so I was like tripping out trying to see it, and it went on the thing. And then all of a sudden another one came, and I was like, what the fuck? So I was trying to see it, but it would go super fast past the place where I could see. And I couldn't get footage. If I could have got footage, and studied and examined it and stuff. But I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. Haven't seen that again. Haven't seen the big giant weird looking giant airliner plane or something. I haven't seen one of those again. I've seen so many planes going on that exact same path. And I saw somebody showing footage the other day, and they were showing the sky and they were showing the trails, but the thing they caught was there was a brown path in place that the plane was following. So there looked like a shadow, then the plane, and then the white stuff coming out. And the shadow was very, very long, and it was staying right exactly on it. So, like, is it a path above me? Like, it's weird how they keep going directly over this. And so, then I saw one going the other way. This one was weird as shit too. It was like this kind of like a, what were those things called? Like, kind of like the blimp or something. It looked like a really old-fashioned blimp because it was really, really huge, and it had a propeller at each end. It's like, what are these things? Like, is this an air show or something? Like, what is going on? I don't know. But it blows my mind that I live around people who you can't even talk about it. They're oblivious. They literally live in this three-dimensional world that, I'm the crazy neighbor. I'm the crazy, hermit lady who lives next door. You start talking to her, she's going to say some weird shit. It's like, oh, man. But when I very first started this, I said, to some, I'm just a crazy woman in the woods. To others, it will be like a prophet, and to others, it will be like a crazy person in the woods. It's all the receiver. It's who's receiving the information. What is it that you feel internally? What happens to you? But some people are so cut off from their internal that they're just, living on autopilot. Sure the hell not listening to their higher self. They're not paying attention to anything. They're not ready for that, apparently. But it's just weird. It trips me out so many times. Like, how did I end up here? Like, why? And, and the same thing with the sickness. Like, I will question that. Like, why is this my experience? Like, what is it? And all I ever get, when I ask these things is, I'm learning from it. There's stuff I'm learning. And sometimes you don't know what you've learned until you put it into action. You don't realize you're learning something until it's time to use it. So I don't know. Going through all of these things physically and stuff, I feel like a lot of the things is because I'm supposed to be talking about it. I'm supposed to get people to start paying attention to their body, tuning in. What's happening in my body? Tuning into your environment. What's happening around me? And I think that's why some of my stuff keeps happening. So I keep bringing my attention to it so that I go and talk about it. So I don't know, because I really do wonder, like, how is it that I can be so spiritually complete feeling inside myself where I feel happy, uh, and then to have to keep having like this weird stuff, like I'm so isolated. I mean, this weekend I'll have company, which will be nice, especially because my daughter is so much more open now to the conspiracy theories that we are living in. But this isolation, not having someone with like-minded to, sit and, well, that one lady always wants to come and have tea, but I'm still so freaked out, and she hasn't called me, and I'm sure the hell not calling, because I'm just like, how do you make alliances to starve people? Like, I'm not into that shit, man. And hopefully maybe she got, she heard herself, and she's facing herself right now and having to resolve, like, who am I? What am I? Who does that? I don't know. But just to have a cup of tea and some biscuits and talk about weird shit. Like, I don't have that, and I haven't for years and years now. It's like, it's me and Stella. Stella knows all my stuff. I tell her everything. But, she's not much of a conversationalist back. I tell her a lot, but she's mostly a listener. So, a listener and a whiner. Oh, see if you can hear that. The woodpeckers out there feeding the babies. The babies just, it's horrible sounding. I swear to God, I thought it was murder before. It really is horrible sounding. These birds freak the fuck out. Feed me, feed me, feed me. So, anyways, there was a bunch of stuff I wanted to say. Like last night, I was having like a whole list going, and it's like, okay, I gotta go to sleep, and then I'll get up, I'll talk about all these things I'll certainly remember this. I don't know, not really. But what I do remember, because I just watched it a couple minutes ago, so more stuff, like there's more stuff with the flat earth thing, of course. Like, I'm there's no going back from this to me. The flat earth, the map, the honeycomb, the land masses, the firmament, and all that. That's real to me in this reality, which is still a hologram, which is still an illusion, which is still just a movie. But in the movie, in this, all things of all realities, because this is, like I said, this is like we're projected in. So it is like if you thought of the whole everything being water, only not just running water. It's like a plasma, kind of like a liquid that has form, that based on its the energetic magnetic charge that it carries, which is all based on vibration. So the plasma that is all around us, that is like water, like we're in oceans. Like, I really do think that the one, let's see, the video I was trying to picture, was it more than one video I saw of this today? But so if you imagine like and I know I've done this one before, but we're just like in this giant ocean, and we're a bubble inside the ocean. And so all based on the vibration. So how low can your bubble go? We're pretty damn low. That's what I say. We're living in the dark. Like, when you think about the ocean, and you think about when you go to the depths of it, and it's dark and it's heavy, and I mean, it crushes us if we're even down there, right? If you don't have the right kind of suit, the right kind of space suit. So I think that's like where our bubble is. We're in a really low vibration, a really heavy kind of dark place. And that's why these things that we consider to be evil actions and stuff can play out, because it's in the vibratory arena where it can. It can't play out when it goes higher. But so if you think about the ocean, I think when you get the visual, like, of what I'm talking about, you may think of the waters of being like picturing the ocean and picturing a bubble and picturing it way down, and then you think, well, the ascension, the bubble coming up, and there's a lot of movement there. But it's not so much movement like that. It is, to me, it's the movement inside. It's our vibration is what changes it. And so, but it's not really going to be like this big move, I don't think, like, because everything is not space, and it is. So, like, if you picture the bubble and all the water and the bubble, and the ferment where the land mass inside, but still there's all of these other ones. So, are we going to just leave them and go up in the ocean like that? So that's what I'm saying, is it's not really like our bubble is going to go, but it's us inside that are changing the vibration of the bubble. And that will clean it up and clear it up. It's us inside that are doing the work. So and yesterday when I was looking out, because I had gone, I went to get water. And when I was coming back, I didn't take my phone because I was trying to download the video yesterday, and sometimes it takes, it will go through, it will get to the end, and it will start back over. Sometimes it will go so slow, and I think, what are they doing? Are they get a dictionary out and listen to every word I say? Like, what are they doing? Like, how does it take this long? And so I just left my phone. I was like, I'll just run down there and get the water real quick. I don't need my phone. If I have my phone, I'm gonna stop and do footage the whole way and keep doing footage of the weird sky. And but then I wished I had my phone because it was some bullshit. I get to up to town, to Maple Falls, which is a couple miles from me, and I get there, it's flaggers everywhere, huge trucks everywhere, just construction people. Like, it was weird. It was really weird. Like, this is a tiny town. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, there was more people on the streets working, more trucks, everything, than, practically the whole town. It's like, it was ridiculous. And so then I'm stopped and I'm sitting there and I'm like, what in the hell? What are they doing? Like, way out here, and we're getting stopped? So sitting there and waiting, and then finally the whole time I'm just sitting there like wishing I had my thing. I want to get footage of this, and plus sitting there thinking, are they doing all this to take out our water? Oh my God, I'm gonna be so mad if they block off and say we can't get that water. Oh, I'm gonna be fuming. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Because I didn't have any. I waited until I needed to fill all 3 jugs. So I was like, man, I gotta get these filled. And in yesterday, because it hasn't been raining, I had to use some of the hose water, and I think it killed my plants. I think there's something with this heat activated chemical, because it was just, the plants were doing so good. Oh my God, everything looks so beautiful and so green, and it looks so nice. And then the sun came out and everything dried up and died, and real quick. Like, it is weird. Like, 100%. And I'm talking to other people, and they're saying the same things are happening for them. So I've been saying for a while, I think that the chemicals that they're spraying out isn't just like one thing. They're doing a whole bunch of different things. It's chemistry, and some of them are definitely activated by other ones, and I'm positive that this illumination disc thing activates some of these chemicals. So anyways, to go get on the plants, and then the plants all start dying when the sun comes out. Like, it's, oh God. So what was I saying? So I was, because I know I went off on 2 stories. Okay, so the water and the bubbles. Oh yeah, so the water, so I went out there too. Stella was whining, and so her bucket of water just looked kind of, and it was hot and steamy. So I was like, I'm just gonna dump this and put some new water. But then it was like, fuck, I gotta use goddamn hose water. It's disgusting. And normally she won't even drink it anyways. But I think she's so fucking hot. So I start squirting anything, and it smells like fingernail polish remover. Like, it blows my mind. How do none of these people question this shit? Like, goddamn. Don't question anything at all. So fucking weird. But, you know, I mean, I sound so judgmental, and yesterday I was, you know, observing that, you know, considering all of these things where I'm just being judgy, like, that's so weird, and that's so stupid, and all that stuff, which, you know, that's my thing I need to work on and be aware of. But, and I've got to just realize that some of these people didn't come here to wake up. So I got to quit whining and crying about they're not waking up, because they're not here to wake up. They're here for something different. And so, because why wouldn't their souls be waking them up? Like, oh yeah, that was the big thing I wanted to talk about. Okay. And so the bubble thing. So if we're in this water, you know, we're surrounded by water, and the firmament is holding it, but I had just seen this woman saying this, and she goes, you know, when I was a little kid, and I used to ask, why is the sky blue? We all asked that question, didn't we? Why is the sky blue? Well, how does it become blue? And what she was saying about the water, so if it's all water and it's a firmament, we can see through it and see the blue sky, then it's the water we're looking at. It's not the sky. We just see through it. So then when they try and go up and go out, they keep hitting into something, and they can't figure it out, and they're all confused. These scientists. And I was getting so many like crossovers in my head when I was talking, so let me gather up what it was. So when I went out, you know, and I was so irritated about the thing, and on the way back, and they stopped. There was no cars, and I had to just sit. I was the only car. I just keep sitting there and sitting there. I'm looking at the girl like, oh. And she's like, no. It's like, do you think for yourself? Like, there is nothing in my path. You could let me go. Like, what are you talking about, girl? Like, it was weird. And I have no idea. Like, I swear to God, I think flaggers are just brainless. Their walkie-talkie is the only brain that they have. And whatever that tells them, they don't look around and think for themselves. That's crazy. So, when I left from that situation in my bitch-ass mood, like, motherfuckers could run down there for a couple of minutes and they're going to stop me and, you know, make me sit there 10 minutes, and I'm trying to leave, and they're going to make me sit there 15 minutes. It's like, oh my God, I was so irritated. I was like, this is the kind of shit that the government does. It's just these weird things, these weird projects, these weird mindless people. Like 100 construction guys need to be out here for resurfacing the street, and suddenly Inslee wants to resurface Maple Falls. Are you joking? Like, when I leave and start driving, especially when I get down by the pizza place on the Mount Baker Highway, it is so, there's so many holes. Like, you have to drive over to the side. Like, that's where you need to go out and fix the road. But I was sitting there thinking, like, oh, I really think that they do this kind of shit just to irritate us, just to keep us on edge, just to keep us frustrated. So be aware of that, because, you know, they push us into being frustrated and angry all the time. I think that is so much a part of so many scams and stuff in our system. But so when I was driving, you know, I'm looking at the stuff like, oh, you should have brought your phone, look at that. And then you're like, no, I'd be pulling over every 2 seconds. I'd never get home. They've already held me up long enough. But I keep looking and looking and seeing all this weird shit. I'm like, oh, God, this is weird. But then I'm like, okay, but, you know, I show this weird footage all the time. Is it making a difference? Are people waking up? Yeah, there's some, but, I mean, I've got a lot of footage out there. And there's a lot more people sharing it now, too. So, and I've been sharing it for over a year. Like, I don't know when I started sharing sky footage, but it's been a long time. And so then, as I was driving up my street, the illumination disc was out, but I could see the halo, but it was a different angle. It wasn't right above me, so I could see a different angle of it. It was massive. I am not sure. What caught my eye at first when I was driving is I saw this giant rainbow, but it was going sideways. And I was like, weird. How is there a rainbow? And I was like, oh, it's the halo. What the fuck? So I started trying to get a good view. And it was giant. It was so huge. And it was to the side. So it wasn't on the top. So if we think about the firmament, and so this thing that moves up that should go, but it goes, that's not weird. So it goes up, then everywhere that it keeps going, that they keep trying to cover, there is the halo. And so, and they're out there just covering the shit out of it. And you can tell that there's certain chemicals. And this is why I got the idea of the heat activated thing, because I started noticing it in the winter when that thing would come out. And it would be clear in the morning, like you'd wake up, it'd be cold, but it would still be very clear outside. And then that thing would rise, and suddenly everything would become super, super foggy. I was like, okay, so whatever our temperature, the atmosphere that we have around us, this thing comes up, it changes it, it starts messing with it, and it suddenly becomes super foggy. So when that thing would fire up and heat up, it would create all of this smoke, all of this, it always looked like fog, because I was noticing it during the winter. So I kept thinking, it makes fog. This makes no sense. Because usually the sun would come up and burn the fog off, but this is making the fog. There's no fog, but it comes on and then there's fog. So it's like, this, it makes no sense. And so then it was where I started seeing, like, sometimes where that thing is, you don't see a plane go over it, but suddenly there's just smoke that comes out. So I don't know. There's just so many weird things. Like, how can we know all of this stuff until somebody, you know, fesses up and tells us what the fuck? Like, until then, we're all just trying to guess, just trying to figure it out, you know, and sharing information to try and understand what this place is, and, you know, who's running the show and why are they so damn evil. And yeah. Okay, so then, so when I saw that and I saw how much bigger it was, I was already thinking about the waters coming in. I've been talking about the waters coming in for, I don't know, a couple weeks or something. And if that is the cataclysm that's coming, I can't even tell you how many people I've heard now talking about this cataclysm, the cycles, and, you know, I mean, there's something happening, and a lot of people are like, why do they keep covering this up? What are they not telling us? What are they not showing us? And having to do with the waters rising, I swear to God, I really, really think it is us. It's the awakening. It's our energy that is changing the thing. I really, really am wondering if the firmament is gonna not just open up, and the waters are going to come in and rise, because the footage that that I had seen this morning was tons and tons of different countries. Like, this guy was showing all these articles from all these different countries and states, and they have raining fish and frogs and stuff, like raining things that live in the water. So, like, there's weird shit. So, you know, and you start putting all that stuff together, it's like, I don't know. I'm really kind of thinking that this water rising and this cataclysm that's coming is something about our energy and the firmament and the whole thing. And the thing too is this CERN thing that's supposed to happen on the 5th, which I think is Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. So, you know, we're days away from this at this point, right? Because, today is Tuesday. Oh, yeah, maybe we'll go up to the food bank and just see what's up there. I don't know. We'll see. But, so a week from today. But, really, they're turning it on. It's going to be 4 a.m. Eastern time. Because there's people saying we should all drop to our knees and start praying that day, all day long, from 4 a.m. Eastern time, which, you know, where I'm at, that's like 1 a.m. the day before. So that would actually be Monday. So we're less than a week away from them firing it up. And are they even telling us the truth about the dates and what's going on with the time? Like, because time is, so who knows? Maybe the 5th already happened. How would we know? Because the whole thing is not in alignment with calendars, dates, time, and what's happening. Nothing is in alignment. Everything is chaos. So, you know, they're saying they're going to fire that thing up, the collider. And what gets me, and they do these ceremonies, but when you watch those ceremonies, they aren't like ceremonies. They're like rituals, and they're creepy. And I was thinking about these scientists and how they have no real, I'm hearing God particle, no real God particle inside of them, but they have, it's like they're spiritually inept or something. Like they're just bankrupt, they're corrupt, spiritually corrupted. So, and they're in this competition with God, but God isn't one thing or one person. God is all of us. God is natural and nature, and you know what is that isn't artificial. So they are all creating like this artificial world and trying to, you know, they want us to all join their weirdo artificial world for one thing, but while they're creating and doing their ceremonies and turning this thing on. Oh, did you see that glitch that just happened? That was weird. God, there's weird stuff. So when they are, it's like, it really is, yeah, that is weird looking, I don't know. It really is like this Luciferian cult people that are running the world with their weird satanic kind of, and not in the way of like devils and stuff like that, but some of these people, they probably really do believe like that. Like they're very like the way they look at things is very I don't know, archaic keeps coming to my mind, but it's like Stone Age or something. Like they go out there and do a rain dance, like, oh, you know, like trying to get it to rain. That's what they kind of remind me of, is those kind of people still, you know. And they think that they're smart and they think they can figure it out, you know, but they keep going out there and trying to bust through the firmament. And I guess they are trying to go through the water. And then with this other collider thing, they're trying to just burst through what's holding us back, which is the vibration. So when they try and bust through, like, who knows? Like, they've tried it before. And that's where people say we're getting all these Mandela effects and stuff. Like, they're messing with our reality. They're messing with this whole place, the whole multiplex theater that we're all here projected into for experience. And so it's just weird, but we all came here for this for some reason. So God, I'm not even smoking, I have this wheeze. It's just these chemicals and shit that gives you, I can see why people are going and thinking they're sick, because you really, really feel sick. The nausea, the diarrhea, the stomach thing, the not being able to eat, the pain all over your body, the coughing, the runny nose. Like, it's no wonder. Like, they knew what the fuck they were doing. And I keep getting these really, really weird things, like right in my heart chakra, especially like I can think about certain things and it will just like, it like activates it, and it's like it feels like you're about to have a heart attack or something. It's very intense. So I imagine that there's a lot of people who are not tuned into their body, who physical things start happening, they start panicking and like, oh, I gotta run to the doctor, tell me what color is the sky, please somebody tell me, you know. I mean, that's basically what's going on. And so these people, these scientists that are trying to bust through the vibration using this, who knows what the collider thing does. They think it all has to do with because they think they're creating the God particle or something, like they are creating the Big Bang. I don't know, whatever, if it was going to do something that was totally harmful to the solar system, you know, you bet your ass that like the Federation or whoever's in charge of watching over the entire system from the ignorance of some of these beings or the experiments and experiences that they're trying to live, that there is overseers and there's certain things that you can't do. So who knows? We'll see what happens. It could be the thing that opens up the firmament, it rises the water. I don't know. There sure is a lot of people saying, I don't know, maybe we won't be in the same reality anymore. Maybe, you know, if I don't see you again, see you next life, you know. Who knows? I mean, how can any of us know? They're messing with things that they told us didn't even exist. And they're out there messing with it, trying to bust out. They're trying to bust through the sky. They're down in the ocean, apparently, trying to. And they're going to just bust through, I don't even know. I think the collider's in the Netherlands, so maybe it's close to something that they see as a portal. Maybe they're creating a portal. Like, they pay attention to all of this stuff. I'm pretty sure they know where the portals are. And I saw yesterday, too, when I was talking about that documentary with the Amazon, and then, like I said before, when my guides bring me something into my awareness, they'll just bombard me. It'll be one after another of this kind of stuff. I'll be like, whoa, I didn't know that. Whoa, I didn't know that. But so in the Amazon, they were saying like people can't really live out there and stuff. But when you see that documentary, there was a lot of tribe people living out there, and not just tribes where they don't wear clothes. They had clothes and stuff. But there's a lot of people who don't want to live in a system. They just want to go out and live their lives. And they're burning down the forest. And there's a lot of stuff that because like I said with the forest thing, what I just said about this one, all forests, there is a certain energy, like why there is like these portals and stuff. But there's some really fascinating stuff in the Amazon that can help us, like, what was the one thing I saw? Oh, yeah, because they were saying that something with the soil that, I can't remember how they explained it. You could look it up though, but something with the soil. And so this soil can, it can do more things. Whatever this soil that's so highly nutrient, like it would really do something, I'm sure, good for humanity, good for the planet, good for the people. There's something that is carried in there, and they're destroying all this. They're destroying things, and there's new things that we don't even know about, that we haven't even discovered, and they're just burning it out. And it's the same thing with these fucking developers, you know, because they're in the Amazon. It's these developers who want to have more farmland and grow beans or something, whatever it is that they want to make money off of, that they're willing to destroy the planet so that they can have, I don't know, millions and millions of dollars in their account that they won't touch, just so that they can say, hey, look how much money I have in my account. I'm better than you. I've got more power. I can hire somebody to kill you. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why, when you have this, you have more than you could possibly ever need in your lifetime, but you still have to keep going and getting more, even if it's killing and destroying the world. It's weird. So there's a lot of stuff with the Amazon, but I think there's probably a lot of stuff in all of the nature. Like, I'm shocked at how many things I've found out now about weeds and stuff. I have a couple of weeds outside that are huge. They're growing. I think they're like about 4 foot tall. And I had seen that one woman, because that guy had gone to his grandma's house and he was going to cut down the giant weed. It was like 8 foot tall. And she was like, hell no, that's my drugs. Because it's some sort of pain medicine stuff you make an extract out of. So I'm going to, that could really help Stella. So I'm going to look it up and see, are these those ones? Because these ones are growing crazy and they look similar. I have to go and really do a comparison to see. But, it is just fascinating how many of our weeds are really here to help us, and how much this has all been told. And then when I watch old movies, like I just watched one the other day, And it was weird too, because it starts out showing all these people leaving church. And I was like, oh man, this is like what it was like when I was a kid. Everybody went to church, and that's, maybe that's why we got so many spiritually bankrupt people. We got to get back to that, because even if I'm not a Christian, it's still, I still gave you, like, that there's a reason why you don't just go do bad things. Like, I don't know. A lot of people need the book. I wanted to say something about that too, if I can remember. But let's see, I've gone off on so many things. The water, the CERN, the scientists, the oblivious people, what was I saying? So anyways, if they're burning down the forests and stuff to keep us from getting that stuff, when all of these things can help us so much, because I think that there are certain things that can not re-age you back like Benjamin Buttons, but can redo your cells and put them into a more healthy condition. So I think all that stuff is out there, and I think it is all parts with the med bed and the frequency, but it's all this part of getting back to nature and what's natural, and moving out of this artificial, controlled world. And, they're going crazy that we're waking up and wanting to leave it. They want to mass murder us as fast as they can. But I swear there was something else I was going to say about that. With the forest, the developers, it's the same. It's like the same people everywhere you go. And they're running the world. Yesterday I was talking to this girl, and I think I've already talked about her. She's a black girl, and she's really, really cute. She's this cutest hair. I love her hair. And but she's always saying really spiritual stuff, and so I really like her, because there is definitely there's everything is dividing. There's definitely a division in the spiritual world, as to ones that are trying to, I would say, kind of like control the 3D, exist in the 3D, be in the 3D, very 3D, materialistic minded. And then you have the ones that are more like her and I, who are like, this is about changing your priorities. This is a complete changeover to a new existence and stuff. So the people that are more in alignment with me, I always notice them. And these other people who are, you learn how to manifest $1 million, that is, there's going to be a big divide in this spiritual community. It's already happening. You already see the two pathways. So, and I really honestly don't know, like, are all of these people who are asleep, and, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Especially if we are getting closer and closer to this cataclysm happening. Like this, I don't know, the fifth could come and go, just another thing and it could very well be that they switch us into a whole nother reality, and then none of us are any of the wiser. We just get up and think it's another day, just the same as the other day. Just Groundhog Day this shit until we fucking die. I don't know. Something's gonna happen to shift the power. Something's gonna happen to the two paths will go very different directions, and but everybody has to see to make the choice, I think. But anyway, so this girl, she is when I was saying about one of those people who's really into the ancestry, and I was saying, it's just so weird when I hear all these people so much about the ancestry, because all of us who are here now, we were all playing the other roles, Like I said, when I look back on my lives, I've only seen one where I was I think two, because that other one just popped in my head, because when I was that gay pilot, I was white. So, most of my past lives, I'm always a darker person, but I really think that there is something to this whiteness, is the watering down of humanity to take the spirit out of them. And I think they've been processing it for a long time, because I think the melanin has something to do with carrying the messages from our spirit to ourselves. Like, there's something to it. Because and I was noticing this a while ago, but I kept seeing like these black guys, they look like stereotypical gangbangers. Like, if you saw him, you'd think, oh, this guy, he's a gangbanger for sure. Like, but I don't want to stereotype, but if you were to think, you would completely think, looking at them, that's how we've been programmed to see them. But it's trippy, because they'll be sitting there talking such deep spiritual stuff and, really telling people, making so much sense, and just beautiful, beautiful messages. Like, oh, it's great. And then you go on to these white people pages, and they are just the Bible. Like, they don't know how to go inside. They just got to be like, go to the next, the information book. Where's the information book? It's like they're always like running to somebody else for their information. That is the watering down. That is the cutting you off from your soul, I think. I really think that there is something to it. Because especially like the people who come at me all the time, they're always white people that are coming at me about this, you need to read your Bible. Well, Jesus is coming to save us. Yeah, well, just pray to Jesus, because Jesus is going to be here soon, and stuff like that. It's like, is that what your internal guidance is telling you? Like, it's just weird, but they're all cut off from it. And I think it's all part of this taking the melanin out of people. And I think that they've been messing with our DNA for so long, because we are experiments. I saw a girl even yesterday put it out there and say, she was showing footage of Giant. Because you think the reason we don't see them anymore is because that they have messed with our DNA and made us small, like what we do with dogs. She didn't say that part, well, I did. Like, yeah, just like what we do with dogs, huh? Make us smaller. But they do mess with that. But there's a whole bunch of things about the giants. Like, there's more. The giants are such a huge part of our history, and there's more parts to it. And besides the fact that each of these ages are separate times, separate experiences, even the landscape is different. So when this age ends, if it is, however it's going to go down, it's going to be a cataclysm of some kind. And obviously it's going to create a lot of transition for a lot of people. That will be a part of it. But, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And it's going to be, why a lot of people are going to really have to go into a spiritual place in their lives. And, but the landscape of the new world, the world that we'll be creating, will be completely different. I don't think it's going to be the same as what we have it. We're watching this landscape die. We're watching it end. And so, it's not like we're just going to go and all be standing there staring at each other in blank space. There's going to be some kind of landscape, and it's coming from us. It's coming from inside of us. And, all these different people, there's so many more people realizing that and realizing the power. And that's why they're saying, drop to your knees on the 5th and just start, and they're not saying just pray to God. They were saying we've got to come together with our energy. We need to stop what they're doing. Our energy needs to block them. And I do agree. We all have the energy. That's what they don't want us to unify about. They don't want us to come together like-minded with our energy, because we are powerful. We are a weapon towards them. And they fear it. And they're doing everything they can to prevent it. They want to hurry and kill a bunch of us off, but nothing can change what's coming. Nothing can change what's happening. It's a cosmic event. No matter how much these scientists think they have control, they don't have any control. And that, I think, is what freaks them out. And that's why they're out there doing these weird rituals. wearing horns and all sorts of weird shit. You know, supposedly when they got the footage of them doing that sacrifice, that they said that, oh, that was just a show. It was production. We weren't really killing anybody. Like, what are you guys, crazy? Like, oh, we know y'all are crazy though. That's what we know. So anyways, hopefully I finished some of this stuff. There's like so many things in my head. I feel like it's just spinning around. There's just so much. There is so much, but you know, I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything of what I'm seeing. I'm just trying to convince you that you need to start paying attention. You need to start looking, because we are all living in different realities. We are all having an experience that is contained to our locality. And so each experiment and experience is not identical. But there is a similarity. Like, there is somebody who's controlling stuff. There's somebody who's controlling the weather. There's somebody who's controlling the sky. They're controlling the information 100%. So anyways, you know, this is all stuff for us to just keep paying attention and keep understanding, and, you know, keep working on yourself, because there is going to be some shit that's going to go down. It's going to get dark, I think. It's going to get dark, but then we'll be going to the light. It's like, you know, when you picture that vision of a horrible, horrible storm, just, it's dark. There's like wind and thunder and lightning and just devastation. And then it's the next morning and it's just peaceful. Like, I think I was picturing like a hurricane kind of situation, because then you go out in the morning and it's just like a new dawn. A new day has come, and the birds are singing, the sun is shining, and it's beautiful. That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like, but we got to get through this storm, you know? And when we get through the storm, we'll know, because it will be the dawn of a new day. It will be beautiful, but there's a lot of pain that has to be purged out to get us into that space. So, and that's what all this stuff is coming up, to purge out your pain, to get rid of it, to release it, to work on it. And, you know, that is an important thing. And, but when I was, you know, talking about like, oh, these girls down there, you know, I mean, how many girls are down there just marching, waving their signs, fighting for their rights, oblivious to the fact they're killing us. It's like, do you need any rights while you're in a grave? Please, pay attention. Like, come on. I know what the fuck is going on. But it's irritating to me. And I know that it is all because they have to see that for themselves. They have to see, whose fight is this anyways? What am I doing here? And there is some people, and I thought about this yesterday, because I do think there is some people who are very focused on their ancestry. And, you know, when I was saying about like some of these indigenous people who are just like really focused on it, I think that is their role. They're cleaning up something from their ancestry. That's why they're so focused on it. So, you know, everybody has these different things going on. And, you know, a lot of people are going to go and do some dark shit and then have to face themselves. That is a huge part of what's going to go on, because so many people do not realize it's not that you're going to go face God and be judged. You're going to face yourself. And that's the biggest judge of all. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.